Hey, good afternoon, Periscope. How are you doing? Whew. I hope you are having a good day so far today. So today uh, I'm going to surprise. I want to surprise you and do something in the afternoon. Hello, Kingdom Daughters. Hello, Kingdom Daughters. We'll talk about that later. Um, I'll give you a call after this. Hello, Jay Harrell. How are you? How are you today? Hope you guys are having a phenomenal day so far today. Um, I'm gonna give everybody a second. For those of you, if this is your first time, if you all know what to do. Um, I'm wonderful, thank you. So if you guys can do me a favor before we get started and invite your friends. I'm not going to be long today or this afternoon. We'll probably do a longer one later on tonight. But I know this is the middle of the day and most of you guys have stuff to do. So I won't keep you. But if you guys can do me a favor, like I said, and share. My name is Winfred Burns II. I am the CEO of Global Drive Network and your money mentor and Rent a Big Man clothing line. Today I'm calling this the real deal because, yeah, you'll find out in a second. A couple of rules real quick on my scopes. They're always the same. They're pretty easy. Again, number one is invite followers, which I don't think y'all just did, but that's okay. Number two, thank you. Number two is to heart me up. It make me feel good. Let me know that you really love me when you heart me up. And then number three, ask questions because I want you guys to not to be clear and leave my scopes with understanding. And then last but not least, make sure that you follow one another, those of you who are viewing this scope, because we all have a platform. This is a great platform that Periscope has created, and I want you guys to feel free to to follow one another, to build support for one another. So real quick, the real deal. For those of you all who do not know, there is something that all leaders deal with that most people might not know. And you guys know when I speak in terms of leadership, I am not just speaking in the sense of the corporate setting or the business setting, but I'm speaking of leadership in any setting. So whether it is business, whether it is you are in the private sector, the public sector, whether you're leading in your home, whether you're leading your baseball team, whatever. But there is a level, and there are some things that those who might not be in leadership don't see, but those of us who are in leadership completely understand. So, what is the real deal? The real deal is simple, that as a leader, one of the things you must always be cognizant of, and this is something my father taught me. He said that leaders lead from the front, that it is impossible as a leader to be in the middle or in behind those whom you are leading and expect to be in position to properly lead. Now, you do need to spend time with the people who you are leading. That's not what that's saying. But what it's saying is that the majority of your time, you have to be in front of what is going on so you can see what is about to happen. So I'm going to say it again. You have to be in front of what is going on so you can see what is about to happen. The problem and what makes that difficult for most leaders is when that happens, that means that when trouble comes, you are typically the first person to experience it before everybody else experiences it. So let me give you an example. So if I know or know that something is coming, or that there is a storm coming, it typically means that it is because I have already passed through the storm. I can see the storm coming, which means that as the storm comes, I will enter into it before anyone who is behind me enters. And that is necessary because then I have to be able to weather or get through or command the storm for those who are behind us. And so, if you can literally see the imagery of that, you standing in front of people, you see a storm coming. Obviously, you're the first person who's going to go through it, so that way the people who are behind it have not yet experienced it. And if you can imagine. Think about it like this. Imagine this: when you are in the storm, or when you are dealing with whatever you see coming, you typically still have to lead, which means that there is a level of composure that you must maintain, or there is a level of integrity and discipline that you must maintain, even though you are in the middle of the storm, because those whom you are following are still following you, even though you are in a storm. Now, let me give a caveat here. That does not mean, as a leader, you don't have the opportunity, that you don't have the time, that it is inappropriate for you to have weak moments, to be afraid, to be scared, to cry, to even break down. What it means is that you still have to lead, and you still have to maintain, and you still have to reach and progress, even though you are having those moments. I call that leading in public. And that is often one of the things that we don't know about when we go into leadership, is that even in leadership, you don't have the ability to hide when you are in leadership. You literally have to suffer in front of everybody else. And that's okay, because to whom much is given, much is required. And it allows those who are following you to see that though you have a gift, though you have a talent, though you are in this position, you still are mortal. And that is good, because if you, as the person who and sometimes they draw strength from and leadership from, are able to endure, then so are they. So again, I'm not saying you can't have moments of weakness or moments of breakdown. As a matter of fact, I'm going to encourage you to have moments of weaknesses, and moments where you break down, and moments where you don't know, because in those moments, that is where you often find some of your greatest and most valuable lessons in leadership. So what the real deal is simple, is that you are a leader, that you have people who are following you, who are watching you, that even though you may be in a storm, you still have to perform. You still need to keep going. Yes, exactly. It keeps you humble, and it doesn't just keep you humble, but it also keeps you. I believe that it keeps you compassionate. It makes you a better leader, because I think what it does is, when we're dealing with people, sometimes if we haven't been there or experienced it, sometimes, not all the time, we lose compassion, and it's like, you know what, I don't see what the big deal is, just, whatever. It's like, well, until you've experienced it, sometimes you don't understand the emotion, and it's not all the time, but sometimes we don't have the capacity to understand all of the complexity of the emotion that it takes to for example, try to recover after a really bad breakup. But because we've experienced it, oftentimes what happens is we are able to go back in our minds, in our hearts, to the time when we were in that position, and how difficult it might have been for us, and draw from that experience in order to help and be compassionate towards others. So the real deal is, though leadership looks attractive, and it is sometimes, it looks sexy, and it is at times, it is also the most humbling position to be in. However, the real deal is, because you are a leader, and because you are empowered to lead, not in your own strength, but in the strength of your Creator, you also have the ability, the capability, the giftings, the talents, the whatever you want to call it, to make it through. So I want to leave you with this encouragement, that no matter where you are, no matter what's going on, no matter how hard it seems, no matter how big the mountain looks, you can do it. All right? That's simple. You can do it, because if you couldn't, God wouldn't be with you. And He is. So make it through it, get through it, scratch through it, cry through it, whatever you have to do, lead through it. All right? I will talk to you later. No problem. I will talk to you all later. Have a good rest of your day. And again, we will be back. Hey, I forgot to say, if you missed last night's show, The Word on Wednesday, if you missed The Word on Wednesday last night, go to the Global Drive Network page, click the link, and enjoy the show. It was a really good show last night. Pastor Burns, not me, Pastor Burns Sr. did a really good job teaching, and I want you to get a chance to listen. It was really good, really good. So, and it was the first of the first teaching in his series, his transformation series. I forgot something to transformation. I'm sorry, I forgot. But definitely you want to check. You want to get this one because then there was a lot of foundational things that he covered in that will help you in the coming weeks as he goes through the book of 1 Samuel. So, all right, guys, I will talk to you later. Have a good rest of your day. All right, bye.